In the top stories, Parliament honors 25 most remarkable teens in St. Kitts and Nevis. Caribbean Development Bank to champion Caribbean climate resilience at COP29, and wildfire tears through Southern California community after burning dozens of homes. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Thursday, November 7th, 2024. I'm Scotticia Hendrickson. Nationally, the Federal Parliament of St. Kitts and Nevis convened a special session on Wednesday, November 6, 2024, to honor 25 young individuals whose outstanding contributions are driving positive change and advancing the nation's development. The 13th cohort of the 25 most remarkable teens was recognized for excellence across diverse fields, including performing arts, scholar athlete, environmental science, STEAM, courage to overcome, and spirit of hope. Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marcella Liburd, in a message read by St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association President Hassani MacDonald, lauded the teens as a, quote, incredible group whose achievements and perseverance distinguish them as leaders. She noted their collective efforts would help to shape a better St. Kitts and Nevis. During her remarks, Minister of State for Youth Empowerment, Honorable Iselene Phillip, praised the honorees.
Ladies and gentlemen, we convene tonight to recognize and award 25 young people who have demonstrated extraordinary character, talent, leadership, and fortitude in their lives thus far, even in spite of some particular disadvantageous circumstances in some instances.
The teens received their awards from members of Parliament, underscoring the significance of this unique national recognition program. Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley, Minister of Tourism in the Nevis Island Administration, has called on local tourism stakeholders to gear up for what is expected to be a robust 2024-2025 cruise season. Speaking at his October 31st press conference, Premier Brantley highlighted the anticipated influx of visitors. Quote, "We are expecting around 12,000 cruise passengers and 7,000 crew members, totaling approximately 20,000 visitors arriving by sea," he stated. The Premier urged taxi operators, craft and food vendors, and other tourism service providers to take advantage of the busy season. Quote, "When the cruise ships start coming, it's the time to strike while the iron is hot. During the active season, you need to maximize your earnings to prepare for the slower months," he advised. The upcoming cruise season will feature 50 calls, including 4 inaugural visits. This marks a slight decline in calls compared to the 2023-2024 season, which saw 52 visitors and hosted about 18,000 passengers. Quote, "The difference of about 2,000 passengers from last year is notable, though changes to the schedule, including cancellations and unscheduled visits, could still occur," Premier Brantley noted. The season kicks off on Sunday, November 10th, with the arrival of the Sea Dream 1, a luxury yacht-style cruise ship bringing over 200 visitors to Nevis. Tourism stakeholders are encouraged to capitalize on the promising season, which is poised to boost the island's economy. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, in partnership with the Inland Revenue Department, has announced a significant upgrade to the Traffic Department's vehicle registration system. Starting January 1st, 2025, all vehicle inspection reports must be submitted digitally to the Inland Revenue Department, as physical copies will no longer be accepted. The move is designed to streamline the inspection and registration process, improving efficiency and reducing environmental impact. Vehicle owners presenting physical reports will be directed back to their inspection site for electronic submission. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force encourages vehicle owners and inspection agencies to familiarize themselves with the new system ahead of the transition to avoid delays. The Traffic Department has been working closely with inspection agencies to ensure a smooth rollout, offering guidance and resources to support the change. For more details on the digital process or for assistance, the public is urged to contact the Traffic Department or the Inland Revenue Department. We now move to news on the regional scene. The Caribbean Development Bank, or CDB, is set to use the upcoming 29th United Nations Climate Change Conference, or COP29, scheduled for November 11th to 22nd, 2024 in Azerbaijan, to spotlight the Caribbean's urgent climate priorities. CDB will advocate for increased climate financing to help its borrowing member countries accelerate sustainable energy transitions, enhance disaster resilience, and address loss and damage. Quote, the Caribbean urgently needs accessible, high-quality financing mechanisms to combat the severe impacts of climate change, said Isaac Solomon, CDB's acting president. He emphasized the need for ambitious and predictable climate finance under the new collective quantified goal to drive sustainable development in vulnerable nations. The bank's COP29 agenda includes several high-profile events, including Climate Finance Effectiveness in the Caribbean on November 14th, co-hosted with the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center. This session will explore ways to optimize climate finance in the region. Enhancing strategic collaboration across OACPS for climate and disaster resilience, a panel in partnership with the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. Climate Adaptation and Resilience in the Caribbean, organized with the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Commission to highlight local climate solutions. CDB will also sponsor the CARICOM Pavilion, the central hub for Caribbean activities at COP29. The pavilion will provide a platform for unified regional advocacy and showcase the Caribbean's climate challenges and solutions to an international audience. In other regional news, the 38th Caribbean Expanded Program on Immunization, or EPI, Managers Meeting held in St. Kitts and Nevis from October 28th to 30th highlighted regional gains in vaccination and disease surveillance. Jamaica won the Henry C. Smith Award for Most Improved Immunization Coverage in 2023, while Grenada received the inaugural Beryl Irons Award for meeting 2024 surveillance targets and boosting 2023 coverage. Barbados topped the surveillance awards, followed by St. Kitts and Nevis and Belize in second and third places. Jamaica's EPI manager, Dr. Julia Rao Porter, credited her team's resilience and PAHO's support for the milestone. Grenada's EPI manager, Hannah St. Paul, echoed these sentiments, thanking her country's health ministry for its backing. Under the theme, Stronger Together, Advancing Immunization, Eliminating Disease, the meeting also addressed post-pandemic challenges. PAHO advisor Dr. Karen Broom underscored progress in public engagement, and Assistant Director Dr. Rhonda Seeley highlighted improvements in polio and MMR vaccine coverage. Professor Peter Figueroa, chair of the Caribbean Technical Advisory Group on Immunization, called for expanded HPV vaccination to eliminate cervical cancer and urged investment in digital health and adolescent immunization infrastructure. In international news, a fast-moving wildfire in a community northwest of Los Angeles continued to spread on Thursday, its second day of destruction. The mountain fire has forced more than 10,000 residents to evacuate and threatened 3,500 structures around Camarillo, California. By late Wednesday, the fire was at 0% containment, according to Ventura County Fire Department. The National Weather Service issued a red flag warning for high fire danger, which was set last evening until 6 p.m. Winds were expected to decrease by nightfall, but officials warned of ongoing risk from fast-spreading fires and power outages, with over 30,000 customers without electricity statewide. The fire, which began as a small blaze, grew from 1.2 square kilometers to 41 square kilometers in just 5 hours. By Wednesday night, it had expanded to 57 square kilometers. Efforts to combat the fire continued overnight, with both ground crews and helicopters involved. In other international news, Kamala Harris conceded the presidential election to Donald Trump on Wednesday, following a decisive rejection by American voters. In her remarks, the Democratic vice president urged her supporters to continue fighting for their vision of the country, stressing that the battle would persist in the voting booth, in courts, and in the public square. Quote, "Sometimes the fight takes a while," Harris said at Howard University, her alma mater, where she had planned to deliver her victory speech. Quote, "That doesn't mean we won't win," end quote. Harris's defeat marked the collapse of hopes that she could revive the Democratic campaign after President Joe Biden's re-election bid faltered, leading her to replacing him at the top of the ticket. She trailed Trump in key battle states, despite describing him as an existential threat to the nation's institutions. With Trump on course to win the popular vote for the first time in his 3 presidential campaigns, Harris, undeterred, offered words of reassurance to her supporters. Quote, "It's okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay," she told a tearful audience. President Biden, in a statement following Harris's speech, praised her for her continued dedication. Quote, "She will continue the fight with purpose, determination, and joy. She will remain a champion for all Americans and a leader for generations to come as she shapes America's future," end quote. Among those present at the event were Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Harris's running mate, along with Reps Nancy Pelosi and Barbara Lee from California, Harris's home state. And now for the weather. Present weather shows cloudy skies with showers in the vicinity. Winds are a light breeze of 4 miles per hour from a northerly direction. The temperature today is 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1.8 to 2.4 meters or 6 to 8 feet, with northerly swells reaching up to 2.1 meters or 7 feet. A high surf advisory remains in effect. Weather forecast for today predicts partly cloudy with a 60% or moderate chance of showers and a 40% or moderate chance of thunderstorms. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with a 70% or high chance of showers and a 40% or moderate chance of thunderstorms. Sunset today will be at 5:37 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:12 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Scotty Hendrickson.